Hell Week. Is that what it's going to be called?
1.5 a days. All right.
Will it slap, though?
Ceedee Lamb is going to wear Dez Bryant's old number 88.
Which is Michael Irvin's old number, which is Drew.
Following the lineage of Cowboys receivers.
Pearson.
So you got to take her attention on Ceedee rocking the 88.
Perfect. Like I said, I really hate when receivers don't wear numbers in the 80s. It grosses me out. Like, I draw the line at 18 and 19.
I'm privy on our 11. If you're nice, I can fuck with 11.
If you're nice, it's rare. 13 is still ugly. I don't know why Keenan Allen wears that shit.
He pulls it off, though.
He pulls it off, but imagine if you wore something in the 80s, you'd have...
17's hard.
17 can be hard. It can be hard, but it's rare.
It can also be the 6'8" dude who's trash.
Exactly. Remember Mario Yeruda, the 6'8" receiver out of Louisville? No, you don't. Only because I just said his name. Like
88, I feel like is low key a second tight end number.
Or if you're a receiver, you got to be good. Like you're a good slot receiver. Like you can't be trash when we're 88.
All right, Brett Favre said, I think on a podcast or something this week, he thinks Aaron Rodgers at some point will end up leaving Green Bay and playing for another team. Do you got to take your attention on that?
I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah, it's pretty much setting up that way. I mean,
like
we saw it happen with
same
Favre.
Circumstances.
Yeah, and it's happened with Brady. It's happened with Montana. It's happened with number of great quarterbacks. So wouldn't surprise me at all. I mean, I know.
Never taken a. You know, they did.
Talked about it last week. Rumors that the Patriots might even trade for him, or.
Bro, they did a.
But that would be ridiculous.
I would hate football because I love Aaron Rodgers, but I would hate football. Like, it's like if the Bears traded for him, I'd be like, all right, this ain't gonna go well, but he's Aaron Rodgers. Like, if he ended up on the Saints somehow, if he ended up like on the Raiders somehow, I'd be totally okay with a trade. Like, trade Derek Carr in a first, or Derek Carr in a second round pick for Aaron Rodgers. I'm totally fine with that.
That's not happening.
I know. He's stuck up there for at least 3 years because of the cap number.
Tired of talking about OBJ rumors, so I'm going to leave that on the cutting room floor.
I don't even talk about OBJ.
As well as the forever Oakland suing the Raiders, so I'm cutting that.
Yeah, we don't. There's already too much beef with Kamaya versus Kalani. We don't need any more Oakland drama.
All right, 49ers coach Mike Shanahan, who just lost the Super Bowl, lost it a few years ago as the Falcons offensive coordinator. He said the losses are totally different. Do you got to take your attention on the two Super Bowl losses being different?
Yeah, because, I mean, one's definitely your fault. And the other one...
It's kind of your fault.
It's kind of your fault. Like, Jimmy G kind of cracked. We kind of saw the Seattle game exposed who he really was. Can we just be honest?
I mean, I think the similarity is for 3 quarters or 2 quarters, 2.5 quarters, like it pretty much went by the script. Like you were in the position that you wanted to be in. You did everything you needed to do, but those last 2 quarters, the better team came back and ultimately won.
Exactly.
So I think that's what the common ground is.
Exactly.
And then finally, the Brandon Cooks, who was traded again this offseason, his 3rd team in like 4 years or something like that. They're trading his career.
But he produces everywhere he goes.
He says he's not offended by the trades. He says that means teams want him. You got to take your attention on teams wanting Brandon Cooks because he continues to get traded.
Talk your shit, bro. He's had how many 1,000-yard seasons to start his career? I mean, the concussions don't help, and they didn't really use him last year.
Bruh, this is kind of like...
That's the best way he can look at it. What else is he supposed to say?
This is like when you call somebody a thought, and then they're like, well, at least I look good.
I'm a thought, but at least I got people looking at me.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, yeah, you're a hoe, and then they're like, well, don't be mad because I got people who want to get with me.
Don't be mad because no one's trying to get with you. Like, no.
Yeah, we're not talking about that.
That's two different things.
like, yeah, it's good. You can always, get by. But at the same time, if you're just
trying to wife you.
Yeah. So how much do they really want you? Like, yeah, they want you, but how much do they really want you?
You're like a gym towel. They're just gonna wash you off and throw you back out there.
That was fucked up. That hurt my soul.
Hotel room towels?
That hurt my soul. That was fucked up.
It's true though.
You just called a grown man a gym towel. That was fucked up. That was really fucked up.
That's how teams treat them. Like, what you mad at me for?
Damn.
They treat them like Vegas fucking hotel room towels.
And he be getting concussions.
Still replace it, no one will remember you.
Damn.
How many Vegas towels have you stolen out of a room and no one cared? Or soap?
And I feel like he's gonna end up finishing his career with the Steelers.
Or the Niners.
The Steelers.
Because that's where Darius Heyward-Bey has been for like his whole career.
Nah, I just feel like they would trade a 4th round pick for him in 2 years.
Nah,
or sign him to a 1-year deal in 2 years.
Jacksonville definitely would.
But all right, man. So that's about it for this week. We can get to the rants, close out the show. You want to go first, or you want me to go first?
I'll go first. Make it quick.
All right.
R.I.P. to the Crenshaw Baldwin Hills Mall. Pretty much sold it for like $100 million. Gentrification is real, people. Pretty soon there's going to be nowhere to go. Not making a certain amount of money. If you don't look a certain way. That's just how it works. Like, this is 10, 15 years in the making. People saw this. Everybody said you need to leave California. And go where? That's what I hate when people say leave California. And go where? It's the same everywhere. The only difference is the right shit.
Nah, it's not the same everywhere.
Okay, bro. Go live in
You realize,
North Dakota.
like, living here...
Like, gentrification happens everywhere.
You realize...
It's just slower everywhere else.
Nah, it's not the same everywhere. Like, you realize, like, here you pay, like, a 30% premium on, like, everything.
Yeah. It's
painful. Like, literally everything.
It's painful. Trust me.
Yeah, like, you can go anywhere outside of California.
Texas is...
And live a lot better on the same amount.
You probably could, but do you want to?
I mean, it depends on what kind of person you are. Plenty of people do it.
And it depends on the job.
Plenty of people do it and love it and never come back. And I read a whole story about this, about a lot of people who end up leaving California because, like, they had a 2-person income here and were living in a 2-bedroom apartment in North Hollywood, and now they have like a 5-bedroom in Madison, Wisconsin, and they're involved in the tech scene, and so they make enough money to where only one parent has to work. Or like people who were living in the Valley and had a house, they moved to Austin, Texas, and now they got involved with, the creative art scene out there. And so I mean,
Texas is turning into California too, though. I'm looking at, like, if you don't want to go live in a big state, okay, you go to a smaller state. That's fine. But eventually, if more people start moving away from the coast and go inward, it's just constantly repeating cycle.
Well, I think the good thing is a lot of this remote work is going to make it a lot easier for people to start relocating again and start moving jobs away from the coast so that the population can be a little bit more evenly distributed, and hopefully rent prices and traffic will get better here. But
I don't see it. I think, like, California's kind of screwed, especially if you don't want to save, like.
But that's the thing. That's why it's screwed.
Landmarks.
That's why it's screwed, because people are moving here to get jobs, but people don't want to leave. So
shout out to Detroit.
It's not an even flow. It's not how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be like people get displaced and come here for jobs, and then people get displaced from here and go somewhere else to get jobs. Yeah. But it doesn't end up working out like that.
And I'm just surprised, like, no NBA players just said, fuck it, we'll buy them all. Like I don't, like, these cats spend all this money and they give all this money back, and no one ever told you, you could just buy the Crenshaw Mall. That never crossed $100 million. That didn't cross anybody's mind to buy the Crenshaw Mall. I get Magic went all in with the Dodgers, but like nobody out there said maybe we should just buy the shit. But also you got people weren't taking care of it down there. Like people were always stealing from the Walmart. Like it was always some shit, which is unfortunate. I think Nick Hampton, he was talking about it on his show. Like, how many of y'all really cared about Crenshaw Mall before you found out they were selling it?
How many people care about any malls, period?
I remember the Hawthorne Mall shut down. I was sad as hell. I'm still kind of sad every time I walk by it. But it's like, I go to Del Amo.
But how often do you really go to Del Amo? Like twice a year?
Just to get my Vans.
That's what I'm saying.
Just
so like that's what I'm saying. So like
somewhere nice to eat. But
at the end of the day,
really
like nobody really go. Like how? Like South Bay. How
malls
often
are
do you
just
go
dying. Can we?
Yeah, exactly.
Malls are dying, except the Mall of America.
And even movie theaters are dying because like Trolls 2 made more money than it would have made in theaters being a release.
Yeah, because
so even theaters are gonna, which is gonna make malls even more relevant.
I think Regal's talking about not fucking with somebody. It was Regal and another movie chain that was like, yeah, we're not doing that. So yeah, I feel bad for people working in movie theaters because as someone who worked in a movie theater, I'm glad I got out when I did. But yeah, it's just gonna have to learn tech. For everybody who sucked at math, you're going to have to start getting good at math because that's looking like the only way. IT and all that stuff. But anyway, y'all stay safe. I'm glad I got a haircut. It was a miracle in itself. But yeah, that's it for me.
All right, man. So this week was my birthday. Turned 28 years old.
Woo!
So shout out to everybody who wished me happy birthday. I got a lot of texts, a lot of DMs. Felt a lot of love this year, which was pretty cool. Outside of that, I wasn't really looking too forward to this birthday. I don't know if it was just because the quarantine essentially locked me down and kept me from doing anything, or if it's just, all the uncertainty about everything that's going on. But I just wasn't really feeling it this year, and I haven't really been feeling it the past couple years, but especially this year. I was just kind of ready for the day to be over. I just kind of didn't want the attention. Didn't really feel like being the birthday boy. Didn't feel like, I don't know, not faking it, but just putting on a performance of what people expect you should be like on your birthday. But still, I'm really grateful for all the people who, took time out of their days to wish me a happy birthday. I don't want to look past that. For sure, because I think about, like, especially losing my grandpa this year, and I just think about, like, as much as I want to just kind of be alone on my birthday, like, at some point I won't have a choice, and at some point, like, I may just be alone on my birthday, and so I don't want to look past all the people trying to make me not feel alone at this point. But yeah, man, outside of that, I think just overall there's a lot of survivor guilt for a lot of those who aren't in jeopardy of losing their jobs because we're essential employees, or because we're just that, you just have that valuable of a role at your current place, or you have a white collar role where you're able to work remote. But yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of survivor guilt right now because I know several people who've been laid off, both in journalism and corporate PR. So it's just a crazy time. And for all of us that bitch about our jobs on the day-to-day, it's like, it's hard to bitch about that when you kind of just have to feel happy that you're not one of the 50 to 60 million people who are applying for unemployment at some rate. So yeah, man. With that, this Touchdowns and Tangents. Shout out to the X Squad affiliates. Shout out to the FPC Radio. Shout out to the Good News Sports and the Good News Radio Station. Your favorite podcast app where you can always find this podcast. Give us a like, rate us, share us. TouchdownsandTangents.com. TDs_tangents on Twitter and Instagram. That's the best place to keep up with our content throughout the week. The draft is over.